Hello, everybody. It's me, Father Pete McCormick, and I'm joined by my co-host, Lynette Wookie. We are once again so privileged to be able to host One Big Question, and today we have a special guest, the very president of the university himself, Father John Jenkins, who serves as the 17th president at the University of Notre Dame. But more importantly, he is the first president to join us here on One Big Question. Father John, welcome to One Big Question.
Welcome.
Well, thank you. It is a true honor to be with the two of you. I want to just say what an awesome job the two of you do in these interviews. They're entertaining and they're informative, and it's great to listen to them. And my only worry is that you will leave us to go on network for Good Morning with Father Pete and Lynette, and we'll lose you. That's my only worry. You've been such stars in this. And
we're not at liberty to discuss our other endeavors, but we'll be here for the rest of the semester at least, so don't worry.
We'll talk to your agents.
Thank you again, Father John, so much for being with us. And there's been a lot of big announcements this week and last week, and our one big question is, how did ND arrive at its vaccine policy? And obviously, we all know the university has done a lot to consult with scientists and medical professionals about how to proceed, how to get to be here. So can you kind of talk about that process and just our one big question of arriving at all these new vaccine policies?
Sure, Lynette. Lynette, if I were to summarize this whole year and all the decisions made, most of them fall in a balance between these two concerns. One, the safety and health of our students, the campus community, and the local community. How do we maximize and protect the health and safety of everybody? But on the other hand, how do we give our students, particularly, but everyone, the fullest, richest experience of being a college that they can have under these conditions? And I just find all these decisions, you're balancing those two priorities, two goals as you try to make decisions. And so sometimes you have to restrict people's activities and social life to keep them safe, but sometimes you want to give them a way to go forward. So with that, we're just so fortunate that we were able to get enough vaccine for the whole campus community this semester. It looks like that will increase. So the vaccine is adequate to give to people. So we're concerned about health and safety. I just say this, the vaccine is safe. 170 million shots have been administered since this started. And it's been intensely studied about the reactions and effects. And the people who know, medical authorities are convinced this is safe. I got the shot. It's not a problem. So first, it's safe. I think that is critical. Second, we just want to prevent people from getting COVID, and you get the shot so you won't get COVID. That's absolutely critical. But third, this is the thing about this disease. If I get it, I pass it on to you, and you pass it on to someone else. And so, I want to keep you and me free of the virus so that we won't pass it on to others, to students, yes, but even more to people who are more at risk of this being a very serious and even perhaps deadly disease in our community and faculty and staff. So anyway, those were the key factors that led us to these things.
Father John, we're thinking about not only the short term, but also the long term. And I know that the university has reflected upon the fall semester in a particular way. And one of the desires that we have as an institution is that members of our community returning are fully vaccinated. And I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about that decision and some of the more particular aspects of it so that we all have the right information moving forward.
Yeah. But, we decided, and a few other institutions have done this, others are thinking about it, to require for enrollment vaccination for the COVID vaccine. And you probably know that we require other vaccinations to come to Notre Dame, meningitis and tetanus and measles. And so you have to have those. Why? To keep the community safe. Because if, the thing about colleges is students come in from all over the country and all over the world, and they bring the whatever pathogens they have. That's why we require these vaccines. And we just felt this is one more that is so relevant and so important to keeping this community safe. And so that's why we decided to take that step. And again, it's for the individual who gets vaccinated, but it's also for the community, so they don't spread it to others and that we don't have an outbreak. And so that really, it's the same reasoning as we used for those other vaccinations that we require applied to this one as well.
So hearing you say that, and I know obviously there's other vaccinations you have to get to come to Notre Dame. Let's talk a little bit about this 90% incentive. I know there's been a lot of back and forth between students whether they want to get the vaccine or not, and now we're announcing to come back, they have to. So as far as the rest of the semester, the spring, can you kind of talk about these incentives, why we created these incentives, and also maybe the rationale behind the 90%?
Yeah. Well, you could have been other percentage, but I think we can get to 90%. I mean, 85 to 90, they talk about that as herd immunity. So I thought, this is Notre Dame. We should aim higher. So that's why we aim for that. And again, if we're asking people to do something that was bad for them, it'd be a different thing. But it helps you. It helps the community. I got the shot. I got 2 shots. It's you may get feel a little bad for a short time, but once you do it, you're done. And for the fall, you're back. And we talked to local health authorities, and we feel that if we can get if we can get 90% of people vaccinated, we can take some steps, take off masks outside. We can have basketball games out on the courts. We can have larger gatherings. So those are great things. And but again, if we got to get everybody on, or at least most people on board, if we want to get there.
Absolutely.
Father John, maybe as kind of a wrap up to this conversation here, I want to make sure that the floor is yours. Is there any one major point that you would want to make, or a takeaway to offer in closing?
3 things. I just want to thank everybody. This has been an enormously hard year. I know it's been hard on everybody. It's been hard on me, but it's been hard on the students, and to wear masks and to live in these conditions has been hard. And I want to thank everybody for what they've done to make this year possible. Not every school had all its students back. And certainly most schools did not have in-person instruction for the most part. And we did it. And that's due to you guys and your commitment. And I want to thank you for that. The second thing I want to say is just, we're near the end here. Let's not blow it at the last leg of this race. And so let's remain careful. But thirdly, get vaccinated. I mean, it's as simple as that, because, it is safe, and it will help you, it will help the community, and help us all get back to normal. So please do. I think once we do, we'll just take a huge leap toward something like normalcy. And that's what we want. We want this a richer, fuller, more vibrant campus, and we'll get that. So thanks, everyone. And thanks for this time with the 2 of you, Pete and Lynette.
Thank you so much, Father John, for being on the show. It's been awesome. I appreciate you helping me make fun of Father Pete. That's always a good time. And thank you, all of you, for watching and continuing to stay safe and getting vaccinated and wearing your mask and all those things I can't wait to never talk about again. But I hope everyone has a great week. Make sure you're following us on Instagram and Twitter at Notre Dame. And as always, go Irish.